Hey y'all, welcome back to Sunflowers and DIYing. So excited you could join me here on this video. I am super excited to be a part of this playlist, and I just wanted to share some fun fall DIYs. So let's get started. So I ran out of the white paint, so I just was like, oh well. So then I took and came in with the nutmeg from Apple Barrel, and I just gave it like a distressed with the Apple Barrel and that white, or the nutmeg and that white, and I think it looked good. And then here's the agave. I just did it at an angle because on the other side is the snowman, so I'm just doing the back side of it. So now I'm going to take this raffia and I cut it in half, and then I am going to tie some bows at the bottom part, and I do trim this up, and then so I'm going to tie a couple knots and then do the bow, tie the bow together. And so yeah, so a shoestring bow, just something real quick and simple, nothing fancy or anything there. But this is part of a playlist, and I will talk more about that in just a moment. And I am so excited to be able to join this. I have been wanting to join it, but time this summer has just not allowed me to. I mean, we have been super busy this summer, and I'm sure all of you as well. I mean, summer kids are out of school, it's vacation time, or it's this gathering and this gathering, this church event, It's been a great summer and it's been a lot of fun, but definitely ready to get back into a routine, get more videos out, and really step up my game, so to speak. So I hope that you guys have been enjoying the content. If you remember from 2 videos before this one, I had a mini version or small version of a scarecrow. And so I enjoyed it and loved it so much that I wanted to recreate it into a bigger form. So that is exactly what I'm doing here. I'm taking some hot glue and I am just going to line this up the best I can. And then just up there underneath the hat. I want it to be underneath the hat looking there. And then I do add some at both ends there, and you'll see this one's a little shorter, and that's because the angle it is, but you can't tell that when you put the hat on there. So now I'm just adding some extra pieces here too, and these are terrible scissors. Make sure you have good scissors. My kids have walked off with my scissors and I can't find any, and when I do find them, they're terrible. So I need a lockbox for my scissors. I never thought I'd have to say that, but they enjoy them. They love crafting too, and so they take it and they cut up little pieces of paper and they glue them onto another piece of paper, and it's just the cutest thing. So I don't have a problem with it. I love that they get creative and they try new things, and they just want to have fun too. So I'm like, it's okay. You guys go back to school. I can invest in another couple pairs of scissors from the Dollar Tree. Now, I will say I do not recommend the Westcott scissors from the Dollar Tree. They are absolutely dreadful. Even brand new, they are terrible. The quality is the worst. So I'm not sure why Westcott would allow I don't know. They're between the brand Westcott and the one at Walmart, there's a big, huge difference. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't know if you guys have had that same problem, but they're just so cheap. It's not even funny. Anyway, so the Jot brand is definitely the best brand that I have worked with for a Dollar Tree scissors. That's the one I recommend, and I cannot wait to go get me a few pairs and label them and to keep them put up high where kids cannot get them. So here I'm just gluing this on, and this is pretty hot glue, so it really did not need much at all, and I'm just trying to get that little flyaway. You know how we use a little tad bit of hairspray or water to get our flyaways? Well, this little girl, she needed some help. So I'm just trimming up any craziness, fluffing the bottom part out, making it look more realistic and super adorable. And then I'm just going to take a Sharpie marker and I'm going to draw her face on. And it is so simple. Do not let this to intimidate you at all. It is so easy to do. You're just basically doing eye drops, teardrops, ovals, whatever you would like to call them, and just going with it. One may be a little wider than the other, and there's nothing wrong with that. Have fun, get creative, and just work with what you got. So then I just color them in, and then now I'm just going to do a little bit of squigglies, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do my stitching for my scarecrow for her mouth. Then I do a triangle, and this is for her nose, and I do color that in with some orange here in a bit. So I'm just adding the stitches right now, and it is so cute already. I love it. And then I just like, well, let's just add some eyebrows. And so then I just add a little something there. Now I'm taking some puffy paint that I had on hand, and I'm just going to do the nose. And then just be careful when you push it out, because when I first pushed it out, it did get outside of the lines. That's okay. It's going to be a very rustic sign, and I am okay with that. So now I am going to take some of my white puffy paint, and I do a circle. Well, first I do the little dots on the eyes, and then I'm going to do the circle for the cheeks and give her some like rosy cheeks. And this is so, like, again, please don't overthink it. If you've never created this, never done this before, I was intimidated at first when I first tried it, but it is so simple. There's no need to get intimidated at all. So now, while that is still wet, I'm going to take some of the pink puffy paint and just do a dab of it, because this is a super bright pink, and I'm just blending it in and making it more of a blushed pink. And so I just continue to do that. Oh, there's my little ones. I'm just going to continue to do that and just blend them in and make it really cute. And then that's it for the face. The face is done, and I love how it turned out. I think it's absolutely adorable. So then I was like, I got a huge body here that I need to work with. So I'm going to trim down some of the gorgeous sunflower fall leaf fabric that was gifted to me. And I'm just trimming it down to match the sign. And then when I do that, I'm going to just add some hot glue. Well, first I do the measurements, making sure that I got enough on it. And again, I'm working with terrible scissors, so it does take me a minute. So now I'm going to fold over and make little hems for it. And I do the top, and then... Mom. Sorry about that. So like I said, I'm just going to put some hems in it with some hot glue. And so now, after I do all of that, I'm just going to... you're seeing the process as I'm working here, that I am thinking of new ideas to put with it and just getting creative and having fun with this adorable scarecrow. Because the other one, I was just a face and the hat part and the hair and all that fun stuff. Well, now on this one, I got a little extra creative and made it look like she's wearing an outfit and all of this fun stuff. So stay tuned. You really want to see the end. I will have all of the photos at the end of the video so that you guys can be able to have a closer look at the final reveal. So here again, I'm just taking it and I'm just giving it a hem. Now, this is a little wider than I should have done it, and that's okay. It still turned out really cute, and I still love how it turned out. I'm not worried about that at all. And so, yeah. So now I've gotten that side, and I'm like, well, it's smaller. And then I'm like, just leave it alone. It's perfectly fine. It works. It's super adorable still. So now I'm going to slit it, and then I just pull it apart to get my final seal in here, my final hem. And then I lay it back on there, and that's like, okay, I like this. This is the sizing and things. And so then what I'm going to do is I flip it over and I add a hem to the bottom piece so that it's all cohesive and it looks good. And so then I end up just flipping that over, and it dries super fast. It's not, I'm not setting it outside. And if I do, it's going to go on my back door that has a covering over the porch. So it's out of the weather and all of that. So it would not be an issue at all. And so if you were concerned about that, you could totally use a fabric glue. You could totally use E6000, all of those fun things like that. So now I'm taking this burlap ribbon that I had from Walmart, and I am trimming off the ends and trying to match them up as best I can. I can't cut a straight line at all, and I really struggled with this. So I had to, after I cut it, I did have to trim it up again. And then I just went with it. I'm like, okay, well, you're not perfect, and that's okay, because this is a rustic sign and it's going to look adorable either way. So finally got that trimmed up and looking the best I could, and there's the strap. So it looks like she is wearing an overall dress, and I love it. So as I was doing this, I was like, yes, that's perfect. That's a great idea. And you'll see here in a minute, I'm going to finish embellishing this some more. I know this one took a little longer in the video here, but it is so worth it. I hope that you all stick around and you watch it, and that you will even watch the ending of it, because this is something that even your children can help you with. and things. And so now that I have raised the bottom piece up, there was a bit of the board showing, and I'm like, no, let's cover it and give it a hem at the bottom with this super fun burlap. And so I did. I trimmed up another piece, and then I just made it all look as best I could. I trimmed up the edges, make it looking, the best I can right here. I'm just folding it in half and making sure that all was pretty straight, the best I could. So after I did that, I just took a dab of the hot glue and I just attached it to the bottom piece of that. So now it just goes with the rest of the outfit like it was meant to be. And so then I just trim it and then just add a dab of hot glue. Sorry, it's out of frame. I should have slid it up a little bit more. And so there it goes. I slid it up for you. And so now just super tiny skinny part of the fit. That's all you need. It's just to hold that piece of fabric in place, and that's it. And then I do end up adding just a tad bit at the bottom to just hold that in place so that it wouldn't move on me or anything like that. So there's that. And so now the bottom is attached. So I'm working from the bottom to the top because on the edge of the dress, I do not attach it with hot glue. I leave it opened. And because I didn't want it to be super tight, like film. I don't know. I just did not want to. I don't know. I just wanted it to be. I really don't know why I did it. I just did it. So now I'm just doing the best I can to make sure that they're pretty similar, pretty even as best I could there. And then a dab of hot glue there to hold those straps on. And then as I'm doing this, I was like, oh, I could put buttons on here. So then here in a minute after I get this glued down, I go away and I get some buttons to put on this. So like I said, it just slowly comes together, and sometimes the inspiration is there and sometimes it's not. And when you got sunflowers involved, inspiration usually just flows from me, pretty well. Very rare has it happened that I have not, been able to get inspired from a sunflower. So, and that's one of the reasons why my channel is called Sunflowers and DIYing. I love sunflowers and they're such an inspiration. And I was like, okay, we're going to do it. So here are the buttons. They're not exactly the same, and that's okay. Again, it is rustic. It is farmhousey likeness, it's definitely not modern or anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want them to be the same, you could totally paint them the same exact color. You could just buy a pack that just has the same in it. It's whatever, works for you. Me, this was just fine. It did not bother me at all. I felt like that's what gave it the more of it. So it's called Signs of Fall, hosted by 6 Kids in a Glue Gun. And the co-host is Crafty Hens, and the co-host is Rustic and Lace. There will be a playlist in my description box below where you can click that link and be able to follow the playlist and be able to enjoy Falls of Sign all throughout the whole playlist and get lots of inspiration to get yourself ready for fall. And what better time to get yourself ready to fall or in the mood for fall and ready for fall by watching fall DIYs. And so we bring to you Falls of Signs of fall, and we're all creating signs that have to do with fall. And so I will have that in my description box below. So just go to there and just click on that link, and you can play all and just watch them all and enjoy them. And yeah, so thank you, ladies, for hosting such a super fun playlist. Thank you for allowing me to be able to join. And I am so glad that I could join this month. I have been waiting to do it, and I just haven't been able to. So I'm so glad that I finally got to do it. And so now I'm taking a wood round from the Dollar Tree. I am taking some pumpkin orange, and I'm just smearing these two together and the antiquing wax. I did not need much, but I did not want that bright orange. I wanted it to be rustic. I wanted it to be toned down and have such a farmhousey look to it. And so a distressing lookness to it. So I am just, adding a little bit of each, and then I add a little bit more of the brown, and I just go back and forth with it and just smear it together because I did not want that bright orange. So now that those are pretty well smeared together and they look, pretty good, excuse me, I am going to come in at the top and I do my brown. Okay, I move that first, I guess. So then I dried, and then I'm going to lay that tape right back down so that I can do the next layer up. That's what I did. And so after I do that, dry it, then you just lay it right back on top. And you see, there wasn't too much bleeding. Um, there's a tad bit, but you won't notice it because I do end up covering over it with the color that I go with next. So I am taking now the Waverly chalk paint in Agave, which is one of my favorites. These colors that I'm using are my favorites for fall, that rustic orange and then the agave and the antiquing wax. I will sometimes go in with the moss by Waverly. Those are my favorites for fall. What are your colors? What are your favorite colors for fall? What theme do you like to go with? What color scheme? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. So, and I'm just smearing it all together. I'm not, like I said, it's not perfect. It's not getting a perfect coat. You're just making the best of it and just having fun. So I get that off and then I remove that bottom tape there. And then, I end up removing that one so that I can be able to put the stripe on the top. So first you have to give it a good dry right quick. And then I come in with the antiquing wax and then give it all a dry. And I was going to use this, but it's old. So I just was like, no, forget it. So now we're just going to go in with this transfer. And I made sure that it was really dried and very stickiness off a lot before I put this on. So you just fuzz it on your shirt or a fuzzing cloth. And so after I did that, I'm just going to take some of this chalk paste here and just give it a real coat of that real quick. And that's it. And I did get some on my board, and that's okay. No need to fear. I was able to take my sanding brush, or my brush, my sanding block, and I sanded that off, and I was just able to take the paintbrush that I still had some paint on it over there, and was just able to touch that up right quick. So it was not a problem at all. So now I'm going to remove that, and I love it. I love that white, how it just is, it's crisp, but when you're looking at it in person, it does have a lot of rusticness to it. Some of the letters weren't completely like full of the chalk paste, and I like that. I liked how it gave that. So I did not record my bow. I'm terrible with bows, and it was a real struggle. So there are tons of bow tutorials on YouTube that you can easily go find a bow tutorial that works best for you. But yeah, I'm still working on them, still trying to get them down pat. So I'm just giving it a good fluff, and then I am just going to attach the hanger back to it to make sure that it's all even as best I could. I do end up trimming those tails as well in just a moment. And again, you just want to fluff, fluff, fluff. So I added that sunflower to it with a dab of hot glue, and now I'm going to add this pick that I got a couple years ago from Walmart for like, I think 97 cents or something like that. And I got it on sale, I believe. So I'm just going to shove that in there, and yeah. So let me know what you all think about these DIYs. I love how they turned out, and I hope that you all do as well. So here's my last one. I was trying to take this off, and then I realized that these are nailed on. They are not glued. So it started to try and break, and I was like, okay, nope, nope. So I ended up gluing that piece back down with a little dab of hot glue, and I just left it at that. And that is way too much paint. Don't do that. So I'm taking this apple barrel black ink, or no, black paint in apple barrel, and I just give it one quick coat. The reason why is because I've tried going over it with the white, and you have to use like 3 coats to cover those words, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I gave it one quick coat of the black, and reason why I wasn't doing it is because I don't have enough white paint. So I was like, well, I got plenty of this black. We'll just give it a coat of this, and then I will add a coat of the other paint that I'm going to be using. So as you saw in the first DIY, I ran out of white. So I have to use this antique white. And I was like, well, that's okay. So I ended up doing a real quick coat of this. I dried it with the gun, and then I come back in with the second coat. And I didn't even tape off the sides. It was pretty easy to get in the crevices there of that board. I was like, okay, this is fun. And while I had that ink out on my paintbrush, I went ahead and did that welcome fall sign, because that will go on top of this when I'm finished. So like I said, just a real quick coat here, and As you see, some of the black, it didn't look like it was completely dried, so it kind of, some of it was smearing or something, and that's fine. Like I said, I am giving it another coat after this because I will be using a napkin on this sign because I have this for a gift for someone. So now I'm trimming up the napkin that I'll be using, and it was like a perfect fit. So I do take a quick layer of Mod Podge on it, and this is a glossy one. Um, I'm giving it to a friend, so I was like, it's okay. It can be glossy. It's fine. And I just wanted it to have a really nice, clean look on it. So as it got on the brown board, I made sure that I wiped that off with my finger just so that I would not have a shiny part there and then not the rest. So, and then I'm just going, after I do this, I'm just going to take that napkin, line it up the best I could or can to the sign, and so that it doesn't, because if you're not careful, sometimes they get crooked and then you have to move. And it's like, oh man, like that. So then I was like, well, let's just start at the top. So I started at the top and put it towards it, and then just gently took my fingers and just gently rubbed it. It looks like I'm rubbing pretty hard, but I'm really not rubbing that hard. And then this is when the wrinkles were happening, and I'm like, it's okay. Because it actually kind of gave it some like dimension and stuff, and just, I don't know, it was really cute. I love how it turned out. But it also could be this napkin with that wood is gorgeous. I mean, the purples in it, or maybe they wouldn't consider that purple. Anyway, that teal blue that I just used in my other on my other round, that orange, and then that grayish green looking color there. So cute. I love how this turned out. So now I'm giving a quick dry, and then I'm going to take that Mod Podge again and give it a quick layer of that Mod Podge. And then I just take the gun again, and I'm just going to give it a quick dry once again. And then, so yeah. So again, y'all, if you are coming from the playlist, welcome to my channel. I am Sarah, and I am so glad that you could take the time, that you took the time to watch the playlist, but also to watch my video. I hope that you will, that you were inspired by it and you love what you saw. And thank you so much again. I really, truly appreciate it. And if you are one of my subscribers and you've come back again, thank you so much. That means the world to me that you have taken the time to watch my videos and just to, comment on them, and all of your sweet comments. I enjoy reading them. I enjoy getting back with you and just, talking with you. And I appreciate that so much. So thank you so much for your time that you have spent helping me grow this channel. It means so much to me. So again, like I said, I'm just taking a quick coat of this Mod Podge right on top of that. And I come back in with that glue gun, the gun, and I just dry it up. And then I am taking some of this gel. I was going to use the glue, the hot glue, but I didn't want it to be too raised. So I was like, well, let's just do this. It's a quick dry, and I just put dabs of it everywhere, and then I just gently, carefully, as best you can, flip it over without getting that glue all over you. So then I get it in my hands, and I'm able to, and then I had to double check and make sure it wasn't going upside down either. You don't want that. So I centered it the best I could, and this is how it turned out, y'all. So there's this one. I love it. Let me know what you all think about this one. Here's my fall sign. I love this one as well. It is so cute. I love the colors and that sunflower. And here's this one, y'all. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. And remember, be someone's sunshine. Bye, y'all.